Hey you guys, welcome back Juju Beans. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Sorry I didn't post last week, you guys. Time just got from me. It hit Sunday and I was, oh my gosh, I forgot to film a video. So I apologize, but here I am, I'm back. I think I'm gonna post two videos this week. One, this one, and then I think I'm gonna post on Sunday, but we'll see. But without further ado, let's just jump right into the message. Today I'm going to be talking about how when you're following God, how you have so many different trials and tribulations, and how you have a lot of spiritual warfare coming against you from the enemy because he's trying to get you to deter from the road and the path that the Lord has you on. And I know it might get frustrating and you might get discouraged. And especially if you're new to your walk with the Lord, you're like, God, like what is going on? I'm giving my life to you. I'm following you. Like what is happening? Like why is all this stuff coming against me? Why am I going through all these crazy situations? And just know it is not God, it is the enemy. God is allowing it, yes, because he is going to use it for your good. And a lot of times our trials and our tribulations are used by God's divine plan and purpose in order to build us, to make us better, to make us stronger, to make us grow closer to him, to come to know him, to know all about him, and to build your life up on a firm foundation with him at its core. And so he allows it for those reasons, but it's not him, it's the enemy. And the enemy is using them because he's trying to get you to turn back and to go back to your old life. He's trying to get you away from the path of the Lord. He's trying to do all that he can possible to get you to forget your God and say, oh, no, this is too much for me. I didn't have these problems when I wasn't following God, so I'm going back to my life. It's just like I posted a video on my TikTok and this girl was like, I didn't sign up for this. Like this walk with God is too much for me. Like it's been too hard and too difficult. And I was trying to explain to her, like, count it all, like the Bible tells us to count it all joy when we go through trials and tribulations because it is testing us and it's preparing us and it is growing our faith in the Lord and our trust and it's producing patience. And I was just trying to explain how the enemy is just trying to get you to turn back from the Lord. And I know it gets rough and I know it gets hard, but in the end, it will be worth it. And she was like, no, like this is just too much. So I don't know if she's going to go back to her old life or what. I pray that she endures through and pushes it out and just holds on. But I mean, the Bible tells us about people like that. He tells us that there are going to be those where the word falls and it falls on good soil and it produces good fruit and it goes out and it flourishes. And then you have some seed. Sometimes the word goes out and people hear it and they like the good news. But as soon as they start to follow God, different trials and tribulations come and they turn back because they can't handle it. And so that's why I always tell people, before you decide to follow God, make sure it is what you really. Make sure you count the cost. Make sure that it is really what you want to do, because your life is not going to be the same. It is not going to be easy. And so many people don't like to go in and talk about it. They don't like to tell you how the true walk with God is. They try to tell you it's all blessings and all flowers and sunshines and rainbows, when it is not. I've told you guys before, I made a whole message on it. Like, Christ tells us that we are going to carry our cross when we decide to follow him. That we are going to go through hardships because we are his. And so when you're on the right path and when you're doing what God is telling you to do, and you start seeing all these obstacles come against you, and you start seeing all these different tribulations and all these trials, don't get discouraged. Don't get fearful. Don't get upset. Don't turn back from God because you're like, I can't do this. It's too much. The enemy knows that God is going to use you for a higher purpose. Your trials and your tribulations are your testament that God is going to use you in a great way. The enemy knows this. And that's why he's sending the trials, to get you to not help other people, to get you to not reach your higher calling and your higher purpose. So don't turn back. Like I said, I know it gets rough. I know it, but look at the bigger picture. Especially the older I get, the more I see, yeah, you have these different celebrities and these different people with money, and you're like, dang, like, I wish I had that life. Dang, like, why can't that be me? And I'm gonna be honest, you start getting some crazy thoughts like, well, if I do this, I could easily get up to where they are. Or if I do this, and it's like, you get tempted, because especially when you get down so low, you get crazy thoughts going through your mind of like, all right, well, I could do this, like, this is too much, this. But ultimately for me, that keeps me from doing anything crazy is time is going so fast. Like, it still blows my mind every freaking day. Time is literally flying. As a kid, you're like, I used to think, dang, 20 was grown, 20 was this, 20 was that. And then you're like 50 years, that's a long time. And then I reached my teenage years, and now I've reached my 20s. And to see from like 15 now to 20 is like, that time has gone so quickly. And to see, even if you live to be 100 years is not a long time, not compared to eternity. So for me, if I were to do these crazy things in order to gain temporary gains, temporary status, fame, riches, earthly riches, even if I lived 120 years, what is 120 years compared to eternity? Eternity is forever. Forever. And to see how fast from 10 to 20, gonna be coming 20 to 30, like seeing my mom age and my siblings age, and to just see how fast everybody is aging, how quickly they're getting to certain ages, to me, it ain't worth it. It is not worth it, because even 100 years is gonna go by like that. And at the end of your life, yeah, you may have lived a great life here on earth, but at the end of your life, for all eternity, you're burning, or you're suffering, or you're separated from God. It's not worth it to me. And you have to get into that mindset and see the bigger picture. Like, I know, believe me, I know. You get caught up in the moment, you get caught up in your situations, and all you see is what you see in front of you. And so it does make it hard. It makes it difficult, because especially when you're in trials and tribulations, all you can see is this difficulty. And your mind is just so focused on, I need to get out of this. I need to get out of this because it's too hard, it's too difficult, it's too uncomfortable. But when you persevere and you push through, not only will you get an everlasting reward, God will give you your earthly reward as well. He will bless you here in the land of the living. So don't be fooled by these different trials and tribulations. Don't think, oh, am I doing something wrong? Oh, like maybe I'm not following God, but I know that I am. Like, I've been doing what he's been telling me. I've been staying on track. I've been doing this, doing that. But why is this happening? Don't be fooled. Don't let the enemy convince you to turn back, to turn away from God, because that's what he wants. He wants to bring as many people with him to the pit as possible. And don't let him get you. Because you can look back and you can see, like, when you're not living right, and you're just living how the world is living, and you're doing whatever you want, living a life of sin, living away from God, you notice your life For a lot. Some it's still difficult, but for a lot of people, their lives are easy. Like they don't have the trials, they don't have the tribulations, they don't have the struggles that those who walk with Christ have. And like I said, you can choose that easier life, because it will be an easier life here on earth, but is it worth losing all eternity? That's what you have to ask yourself. Because you can look back at your life before you started following the Lord and look how easier it was. You weren't struggling. You didn't have all these different spiritual warfares attacking you. You didn't have all these different obstacles coming against you. Like it was, for the most part, smooth sailing. But when you decided to follow God, it's because you became a threat. You became a threat to the enemy. You became a threat to the darkness, because your light can illuminate any dark room. Your light can win souls, and that's what the devil hates. The devil is trying to take as many people with him as he can. So you can decide to go and live your old life, a life worry-free, carefree. It sounds great. It really does. It really, really does. But you're risking that chance of missing out on all eternity of peace and happiness and smiles and having that life that you've been believing here on earth. Or you can continue to follow God, still be supported and sustained and have all your needs met, and still even achieve great and mighty things through God. I mean, you look at David, you look at Solomon, look at Joseph, like they all achieved these amazing things in their lives here on earth. But they all, besides Solomon, cut Solomon out. David and Joseph, they went through some trials to get to where they were, right? They had to go through a lot of difficulties. And for most people who do follow the Lord, and I said it in my last video, for most, you have your rare ones like Solomon who have an easy life, but for majority, it's not going to be easy. Like you're going to go through different trials and tribulations, but ultimately it works for your good because it's building you. It's giving you everything that you need to reach that level of where God is going to take you in order to sustain you there, in order to keep you at that level. He's not going to bring you up and then you get there and you're like, I don't know what to do. Like I can't handle this. Like there's too much pressure. It's like, oh, I already been through this. Like this is easy. Okay, I already know what to do. Like God has already prepared me for this. And so he allows it because he's going to use it to keep you in this higher state so that you are able to sustain yourself and that you are able to keep the blessing that God has given you. And you're able to keep that relationship with God first and foremost. And you're able to save your soul in the end. And so I hope this message encouraged you. I think that's all I have for this message. I hope that it helped you in some way. I hope that to those who are struggling with their walk with the Lord, who are contemplating turning back, I hope that this strengthen you to keep pushing through, because it doesn't matter what the world is offering. What God can offer you is far better, far greater, far more amazing than what the world could ever give you. Just stay encouraged, stay uplifted, stay in the Word. Get onto messages like this. There are some great channels on YouTube of encouraging messages that help me. I personally love Grace for Purpose, their messages every day. They really got me through a lot. There was one, I think it was Ecclesiastes, I think it's called. I'll link them down below just so you can check out their pages, but they have been truly amazing. So just stay encouraged. Like, put on your gospel. I tell you all the time, put on that worship music. And if you're in a funk, just put on some worship music and worship God and get out of that. Like, you need to get something that uplifts you, because the enemy wants to keep you down. He wants to keep you in your solitude, to keep you in a funk. You got to get out of that. You got to stay uplifted. You got to stay praising and thanking and keep a positive attitude, because the more positive, the more happy you are, the more it's like a punch in the devil's face. He can't stand. I'm sending all these obstacles. I'm sending all these different trials, and he's still smiling. He's still praising God. He's still thanking God. Like, what the heck? He's going to give up eventually. He is going to give up, and God is going to say, enough's enough. You've tried with my servant. You've tried with my son, my daughter. It's not working. They're showing you they're devoted to me. So leave them alone. And God is going to step in and he's going to save you. So just stay encouraged, stay uplifted. If this message helps you, hit the little like, hit the like button. That's what it's called. Hit the like button. Share with a friend if you think that they need to be encouraged by this. And hit the notification bell to be alerted whenever I do post, because I told you I was posting every Sunday, not on purpose. That was just what was happening. But you see, I missed last Sunday, and now today is Thursday. So just hit the bell every time you want to be notified whenever I do post. If you want to stay in the loop, comment down below anything that you need to, anything you're struggling with. If you need prayers or anything, like, I'd gladly pray for you. If there's any type of message you want me to preach about, I always say comment down below. And yeah, I thank you once again for tuning in. Come be a part of the Juju Bean community. If this is your first time tuning in, be a Juju Bean and join us. Yeah, may God bless you. I love you guys. I love you for your support, your encouragement. It does mean a lot, because sometimes I do get down and I get frustrated and I feel like, oh, should I even continue this? But then I'll get comments and saying like, oh, like, thank you for this. It really helped me. And thank you for this word. Like, God is using you to speak to me. And so that's almost like my confirmation from God. He's just saying, like, keep going, keep doing what I've been telling you to do. Like, you are making a difference. You are helping people. And like, when I first started this, I said, I'm not here for the masses, for the fame, for the glory. Like, even if I can help one person even if I can help one person with each message, then that's one person that I helped, one soul that was saved. And so it really does mean a lot for your support. I thank you guys, and I'll see you in my next video.